Biden just canceled student loan debt, and here's everything that you need to know. Starting with how much will actually be forgiven. Up to $10,000 in federal student loans will be forgiven for those with federal direct loans, which is the most common type of student loan that you can get. Additionally, Biden will forgive up to $20,000 for those who received a Pell Grant, basically grants aimed at low-income undergrads who fall below the income cap. Now, only those whose loans originated before July 1st and earned less than $125,000 as an individual or $250,000 if married in 2020 or 2021 will be eligible for forgiveness. And current students will qualify if their parents make less than the income cap. Student loans held by private lenders are ineligible for this forgiveness. And for those who don't qualify or will still have loans after the relief, Biden extended the pause on student loan payments through the end of 2022, meaning loan payments will be required again come January. And according to Biden, this is the one final time that he will pause student loans. So, how many people does this actually help? Well, more than 40 million Americans currently have student loans, with debt now reaching nearly $1.75 trillion, which is more than their outstanding car and credit card debt. But Biden and his administration has already canceled more student loan debt than any administration in US history, forgiving nearly $32 billion in student loans, including $13 billion for those who were defrauded. And after this recent move by Biden, 45% or nearly 20 million borrowers could instantly see their debt canceled, as they had less than $10,000 in student loan debt if they fall below the income cap. About 20% of borrowers will see their student loan debt cut in half, as they owe between $10,000 and $20,000. And nearly 21% of people will see some sort of relief, as they owe between $20,000 and $40,000. So let me know if this actually helps you. Yes or no, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But what types of loans are eligible? Well, we already know that federal direct loans and Pell Grants are eligible, but graduate student loans also qualify for up to $10,000 in relief, but not the additional $10,000 for Pell Grants. And Parent Plus loans, aka loans taken out by parents to pay for the education of their children, also qualify. And that's up to $10,000 in forgiveness, which is pretty neat if you have a student loan that qualifies. But it does leave us one question: how do you get your student loans forgiven? Well, forgiveness will happen automatically for nearly 8 million borrowers who already gave their information to the Department of Education. And for everyone else, you will be required to complete an application that simply certifies that you meet the income limits. Now, the Department of Education did state that that form will be short and sweet and will be released in a few weeks. So if you'd like to be notified when the application comes out, you can subscribe to notifications from the US Department of Education. Just visit this link and be sure to select Federal Student Loan Borrower Updates. Now, will forgiven debt be taxed? The answer is no. Any forgiven debt will not be taxed. And what if you owe less than the debt relief? Well, for those lucky enough to get their debt completely canceled, only the amount you owe will be canceled. You will not be eligible for any refunds. Now, what if you owe more than the debt relief or simply don't qualify? Well, about 41% of borrowers owe more than $10,000 in student loans. And for those who don't qualify or will still have debt after the relief, you will not have to make payments again until January 1st, 2023. Now, the Biden administration is also proposing a new income-driven payment plan, and it has 4 key initiatives. The first is that borrowers will pay no more than 5% of their discretionary income monthly on undergraduate loans. The second is that they will raise the amount of income that is considered non-discretionary income and therefore is protected from repayment. Next, they're going to forgive loan balances after 10 years of payment. And lastly, cover the borrower's unpaid monthly interest. Now, this plan is not yet law, but it's something that the administration is working on to provide even more relief to people with student loans. But even with Biden canceling a large portion of student loan debt for millions of people, not everyone is happy. For starters, there's a group of people who wants Biden to do more, like keep his promises. You see, when Joe Biden was running for president, he made quite a few promises regarding student loan forgiveness, like forgiving $10,000 in federal student loan debt for every borrower, and secondly, forgiving all undergraduate tuition-related federal student loan debt from 2-year and 4-year public colleges and universities, and private HBCUs and MSSs for debt holders earning up to $125,000. Next, Biden promised that he would expand the existing public service loan forgiveness program by canceling $10,000 a year in student loan debt for every year a borrower works in public sector or nonprofit jobs for up to 5 years. And lastly, Biden promised free public college education to any household earning less than $125,000 annually, as well as increasing Pell Grants, making many wonder why Biden doesn't just cancel student loans for all Americans, regardless of income, especially when 92% of all student debt is federal student loans. And apparently he has the power to do it. And it also appears that the income cap isn't to save money, it's actually political. In general, it's estimated that the $10,000 student debt relief plan will cost about $300 billion. But the $125,000 income limit would only save the government about $12.6 billion. Then there's the group of people who believe Biden should do less, and for 3 major reasons. The first is that it's unfair, especially for those who didn't go to college. According to Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the initiative is astonishingly unfair and a slap in the face to every family who sacrificed to save for college, every graduate who paid their debt, and every American who chose a certain career path or volunteered to serve in the armed forces in order to avoid taking on debt. Then there's the second argument on why Biden should have done less. As it stands, many believe that the student debt relief plan actually favors those with higher income. According to an analysis by the University of Pennsylvania, between 69 and 73% of the debt forgiven will go to households in the top 60% of income distribution. And lastly, a CNBC survey found that many Americans believe that student loan forgiveness will actually make inflation worse than it is. But no matter how you feel, there are more than 20 million Americans jumping for joy right now. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video for me. It truly helps us to beat the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe to the channel for more information that helps you save on taxes, save more money, and grow your wealth. I'm Karan from Life Accounting, and I'll see you in the next video.